It's about time that there's some serious drifting out there. Is Drift 21 serious sim drifting? Find out right here, right now. Greetings petrolheads and welcome to RomRom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing, and to our review of Drift 21. I'm Serta and I'm gonna be your host for this video. Drift 21 just hit the shelves and we got a review copy to test it. Have you ever wanted to drift? Have you wanted to set up your car the best way possible to do so? This may be the game for you, as Drift 21 is, surprise, a drifting game and more. This video is a premiere, as this time it was not me testing but Crunchy from the VGA. The images shown here are his own and we wrote this review together. Crunchy's got also his own YouTube channel, link is in the description. Before we start the review, remember that if you want to be informed about new videos, click subscribe and also click on the bell and become part of the ever-growing RomRom family. Drift 21 comes with three of the best-known classic drifting cars: the Mazda MX-5, the Nissan Silvia S15 and the Subaru BRZ. The basics of the game are that you have to earn upgrades through drifting along one of the three tracks that are provided in the base game, which are just as classic as the cars: Abyss School, Abyss Driftland and Abyss Mimami. The modes it brings for now are Garage, Car Paint Shop, Free Play, Solo Run and Time Attack. In free mode you get to practice your driving and drifting skills around one of the three tracks, and of course points are awarded for completing a good drift. As in most drifting games, a drift is only complete if you keep control of the car and continue on smoothly into another move, even just driving away. If the game deems you didn't finish the move cleanly, then your accrued points shown at the top of the screen are crossed with a red line and are not added to your total at the top right. And when I say awarded, these points aren't added to any other part of the game, they're just a means to see how good your skills are, but nonetheless this is a great part of the game on its own. In Time Attack you win money for parts and upgrades, and once you've earned an upgrade, the game morphs into something like Mechanic Simulator, as you have to add the upgrade yourself in the garage. Crunchy found this part of the game, oddly enough, possibly the best part of the game, even if it was not easy to be a mechanic because of the way this game uses the controllers. Oh, and if you get bored in the garage, you can throw the basketball around. No, really. The system requirements for Drift 21 are quite moderate. The minimum would be a 970 graphics card and Windows 7. The recommended system requirements are a 1060 graphics card and Windows 10. You need a 64-bit processor and operating system. An i5 or compatible would be enough. Memory only 8 GB of RAM, and your hard disk won't be taxed because it's only 20 GB of space. Just go and delete the Need for Speed stuff. Drift 21 looks as good as any other sim out there. Crunchy found similarities in the look to Automobilista 2. That says a lot about how good the graphics are. Of course, it has not one but two cockpit views, with and without the wheel, and it also includes a chase cam, a bonnet cam and a track cam. Unluckily, it seems Drift 21 has no way to save the replays for later use, something we most assuredly will recommend the developers to include. Crunchy had several problems with his controller settings. While the game recognized his wheel, he ended up needing to use keyboard, Xbox controller and wheel to drift away. Especially jarring was that this drifting sim didn't accept a wheel button as handbrake. After he had this setting of a little bit of everything, his force feedback became very soft and unreliable, and he ended up using only the Xbox controller. Of course, drifting with an Xbox controller is quite tasking. Hopefully this will get solved during the early access phase. With the wheel, the force feedback is strong, but you may need to fiddle with the force feedback settings. The game recognizes wheels by Fanatec, Thrustmaster and Logitech, and thus should cover about 90% of the wheels out there. It also supports adding a custom setting for any other wheel. The sound is fair to good, similar to other games, nothing specially good, not race room racing experience or Assetto Corsa Competizione, but not specially bad. The Mazda has a throaty, deep end to it. Drift 21 takes drifting seriously and falls more into the sim spectrum of sim racing. If you have been drifting on Assetto Corsa until now, you may want to take a look at Drift 21, as this surely fills a niche in the market that at the moment is filled only by Assetto Corsa, serious sim drifting. Be aware the sim is on early access, the makers promise to listen carefully to the community for further work on it. So, add your opinion, of course in a friendly and constructive manner, which is the only way we should talk to each other anyway. As a beginner to drifting, Crunchy enjoyed himself, but we expect that more experienced players will get even more of a kick out of this sim. At this stage it holds a lot of promise and may become soon the best drifting sim in the market. Crunchy enjoyed himself on the mechanic part and customization screens too. It seems as though almost every part of the cars can be upgraded from the fuse box to the whole engine. There is a great paint shop with decals, logos, some great paint styles and a number plate customization. Placing the mechanical parts in the cars proved to be frustrating when using mouse control, but it was easier when using an Xbox controller. This may have more to do with controllers not being recognized well. It seems there is no multiplayer mode, or not yet, another thing we may advise the developers to put into it. With regards to Crunchy, he worked at best with an Xbox controller and loved the Mazda MX-5. Of course. He enjoyed it a lot, can recommend it, and considers it a must-have for any fan of drifting, especially sim drifting. The price for Drift 21 is $22.49, reduced 10% during the early access phase from the original €24.99 or USD as always. Don't you dare drift away, there's more videos sharing the joy of sim racing, so check the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other at the podium.
Visit romrom.net to connect to fellow sim racers and sim racing fans.